Why is Pakistan one of the few countries in the world that still refuses to recognize Israel? Why does Pakistan's passport say that it is valid for every country except Israel? And why do Pakistani leaders say that recognition is impossible until Palestine gets its own independent state? The answer isn't just about Palestine. It's about Pakistan's identity, its history, Kashmir, regional politics, and its future place in the world. Let's break it down. What does recognizing a country mean? Before we go further, let's understand the basics. Recognizing a country means you are officially accepting it as a legitimate state and establishing diplomatic relationships. For example, Pakistan recognizes countries like Saudi Arabia, China, US. That means they exchange ambassadors, sign agreements, trade, cooperate, and communicate directly. Today, more than 160 countries recognize Israel. Pakistan does not. And Pakistan has maintained its position since Israel was established in 1948. But why? To understand Pakistan's position, we have to go nearly 80 years back. In 1948, the State of Israel was created. The event led to a war and the displacement of thousands of Palestinians. Since then, Palestinians have sought their own independent state. And so today, this issue centers around several key issues. Who controls the land? Who controls Jerusalem? What happens to Palestinian refugees? Most countries support what's called the two-state solution. The idea is very simple. Israel exists as one state and Palestine another. Both live side by side, that too peacefully. Pakistan's stance on this is that Israel cannot be recognized as an independent state unless and until a Palestinian state is established according to international resolutions. In basic words, Pakistan says, first solve the Palestinian issue, then we can talk about Israel being recognized. And for Pakistani leaders, recognition before that would be abandoning a cause they themselves have supported for decades. But why is this issue so important to Pakistan? Many people ask if countries like UAE, Bahrain, Morocco, and others can normalize relations with Israel. Why cannot Pakistan? The answer lies in how Pakistan views itself. Pakistan was created in 1947 as a homeland for Muslims of the Indian subcontinent. Many Pakistanis see the support for Palestine as Pakistan's broader commitment to supporting oppressed Muslims all around the world. But there is another reason, and this may be even more important. Kashmir. Pakistan believes that the people of Kashmir have their own right to determine their own future. Now think about it, if Pakistan suddenly wakes up and says, we accept Israel's control over disputed territories before a final settlement is reached. Critics inside Pakistan say that doing so would weaken Pakistan's own argument on Kashmir. The reason goes like this. If Pakistan accepts one unresolved territory issue without a negotiated solution, how can it insist on a different state for Kashmir? Whether people agree with this statement or not, it remains one of the strongest reasons cited by Pakistani policymakers and analysts. For many in Islamabad, Palestine and Kashmir are linked through the principle of self-determination. Now, let's talk about the Abraham Accords. In 2020, several Arab countries signed an agreement with Israel. The US helped broker these deals, and the agreement was quite simple: improve relationships between Israel and the Arab states. The first countries included UAE, Bahrain, later Morocco and Sudan. This agreement led to new trade partnerships, technology, tourism, investments, direct flights, security cooperation. Since then, the US has encouraged other countries to consider normalization. Pakistan has reportedly declined. Successive governments have maintained their same message. no recognition without a Palestinian state. The policy has remained remarkably consistent, despite changes in governments and political leaders. But the question is, could Pakistan change its position? In international politics, nothing is permanent. Countries change when interests change. So, could Pakistan recognize Israel someday? Possibly, but it would require major shifts. A peace agreement between Israelis and Palestinians, a broadly accepted Palestinian state, strong public support inside Pakistan, and political leadership willing to make this happen. And at the moment, none of these conditions appear. All in all, for now, recognition seems unlikely. What does this mean for Pakistan globally? Does refusing to recognize Israel hurt Pakistan internationally? The answer depends on who you ask. Some argue that accepting Israel would open doors to technology, trade, investment. Others argue that maintaining its current position enhances its credibility among those who support the Palestinian cause. The reality is much more complicated. Pakistan already maintains strong ties with countries that have previously recognized Israel, such as the UAE, the US, Bahrain, and many other European countries. So this issue has not isolated Pakistan internationally. However, it does create a unique position where Pakistan has to balance itself strategically. Balance its strategic interests with its long-standing principles. And so, with all of that being said, this is where we bridge perspectives. For supporters of recognition, the argument is practical. They ask, can Pakistan still recognize Israel while Palestine does not have its own independent state? In accepting Israel, will Pakistan weaken its position? The truth is, this debate isn't simply about Israel. It's about how Pakistan defines itself, its principles, its interests, its identity, and its role in changing the Middle East. As Gulf countries increase their ties with the state of Israel, Pakistan may face pressure to reconsider its position. But for now, Islamabad's message remains quite clear. No independent state of Palestine, no recognition of Israel. And until that changes, Pakistan's policy is also unlikely to change. Because sometimes foreign policy is not about strategy. It's about the stories nations tell about who they are. And for Pakistan, the story is still being written. And so with that, we come to an end of today's episode. If you found this breakdown helpful and insightful, subscribe to Bridging Perspectives, where we decode global affairs and analyze its impact on humans like you and me. See you guys in another episode.